Welcome to Little Green Dog's animation tutorial series. In this bonus episode, called Endless Nachos Part 3.5, I'll share tips for how to make smart bone creation easier and more efficient. And then, we'll learn how to improve the simple iRig setup from Endless Nachos Part 3. The version of Moho we'll be using is 14.3, but these tips also work for versions 12.5 and 13.5. If you'd like to follow along in your copy of Moho, download the free activity file from the link in the video description. Okay, let's begin. In the last tutorial, we learned how to create smart bones from scratch, and we learned how to edit and customize them to control nearly anything you can keyframe in Moho. Creating a smart bone dial isn't hard to do, but did you know there's an easier way? It's a menu command called Make Smart Bone Dial. I didn't mention Make Smart Bone Dial in our last tutorial because it's important to understand how smart bones are created and how they work before you start using this command. This way, when you need to edit or troubleshoot a smart bone dial in your own projects, you'll know what to do. But you know all that stuff because you watched the last tutorial, right? Okay then. Let's learn how to use Make Smart Bone Dial. Open the activity file called Simple Mouth Rig. This project contains two bones, a bone called Turn Me, which is parented to a pin bone called Root. Select the bone layer and the bone called Turn Me. Then choose the menu command, Bone, Make Smart Bone Dial. A window will pop up with the bone name. But unlike the window for the new action button, this one has options for creating a smart bone. Let's see what they are. Under the name box, there are settings for the angle constraints, which are preset to 90 degrees instead of 70. Beneath that is the setting for duration, which is the frame range of the smart bone animation. And at the bottom, there's an option called Separate Actions for Positive and Negative Angles. This means check it on for a bidirectional smart bone and check it off to create a single direction smart bone. Let's try it. Uncheck Separate Actions. Set the angle constraints to -70 and 0 and enter 48 for the duration. Click OK. And we now have a smart bone action called Turn Me, a smart bone dial constrained from 0 to 70 degrees in one direction, and a smart bone timeline ranging 48 frames. Nice time saver, right? Let's delete the action and choose the command Make Smart Bone Dial again. Now let's set the angle constraints to -70 and 70. Check on Separate Actions and click OK. Now we have a bidirectional smart bone dial. Down here in the Smart Bone Actions timeline, Moho has created linear keyframes at frame 0 and 48. You'll recall that I also like to set a keyframe at frame 1, so I can use a different interpolation mode for frame 0. So I'm going to double-click on frame 1 and then set the interpolation mode for frame 0 to whatever it needs to be. Which brings us to our next tip. Previously, you've seen me use the right-click command to set the interpolation mode. But what I prefer to do is this. Did you catch that? What I did instead was I pressed Ctrl 2, which sets the selected keys to smooth. Let's make it more obvious and select all the keyframes. Press Ctrl 2, and now they're all smooth. If I want the selected keys to be linear, I press Ctrl 1, and if I want them to be step, I press Ctrl 7. So the shortcuts I use to set these interpolation modes are Ctrl 1 for linear, Ctrl 2 for smooth, and Ctrl 7 for step. I only bother to memorize these three because they're the ones I use most. But if you want to know what the shortcuts for the other modes are, go to Edit, Edit Keyboard Shortcuts, and enter Interpolation in the search box. The window will show you the shortcuts for all the modes. Okay, let's continue updating the Smart Bone. For this timeline, I want frame 0 to be smooth, and frames 1 through 48 to be linear. Now I can add the animation for the Smart Bone. Select the mouth layer, move the playhead to frame 1. We're going to animate the points. Press Ctrl F to freeze the points. Go to frame 48 and open the mouth. Select the lower teeth layer, move the playhead to frame 1. This time, we're animating the layer. Choose the Transform Layer tool and click on the layer to keyframe its position. Move the playhead to frame 48 and slide the teeth layer downward. Now let's do the same thing for the tongue layer. When we jump into the second action, Make Smart Bone Dial has already set up the keyframes. I just need to add the key at frame 1 and set it to linear. All that remains is to create the second mouth animation. For this action, let's open the mouth wide and show the teeth. Let's test the Smart Bone. Ah, ah, I have more Smart Bone tips and tricks to share, but let's save those for another time. Right now, let's return to the simple iRig and discover how to make it better. Here's our simple iRig from Endless Nachos Part 3. To follow along, open the file called Simple iRig. When I created this activity, I simplified the animation so we could focus on setting up the smart bone. But if I were to use this setup for an actual production rig, there are a couple of things I changed to make this better. For example, if I were to place a perfect circle over an eye, notice how the eye isn't perfectly circular. As a matter of fact, it's a little boxy. You can actually see how the circle of the eye forms 4 smooth corners inside the larger blue circle. This is because we had peaked the side points to allow the circle to fold, and relied entirely on the top and bottom points' curvature to form the circle shape. Now, if you're really obsessive about things like this, like some people around here, you're wondering, how can I fix this? Lucky for us, it's easy. Open the Smart Bone action for Wink Down R. Select the eye layer and select the points. Move the playhead to frame 12 and press Ctrl F. This creates a keyframe for all the points, which includes the keyframes for the curvature channel. That part is critical. Now delete the keys at frame 1. At this stage, we're not going to see any difference yet, but that's about to change. Move the playhead to frame 0 and select the curvature tool. With all the points still selected, click on the Smooth button. This resets the curvature for all the points to have a smoothness value of 0.30. Now, click and drag over any point until the shape conforms to the shape of the blue circle. To get an absolutely perfect circle shape, in the curvature box, enter the number 0.3914. If you're wondering where this number comes from, click on the circle layer. Select a point in the circle and check its curvature value. 0.3914. Bet you thought I was just smart, huh? Okay. Select the eye layer and reopen the action called Wink Down R. When we check the animation now, our perfect circle has 12 frames to smoothly transition into the peaked shape. To complete the setup, copy frame 0 to frame 1. Be sure to select only the keys in the red channel. The red channel always represents the selected items, which really doesn't matter here because we have all the points selected. But it's a good habit and good practice when animating in Moho. Okay, now do the same for the other action. Go to the main line to test it. And that's all it takes. Let's see how quickly we can do the other eye. Yeah, that was quick, right? Let's do one more thing to improve this rig. You probably noticed that it's a little tricky to return the blink dial to its neutral position. One way to do this is to choose the Transform Bone tool and click the Reset button for rotation. But that's a pain, right? Well, here's a better way. Select the Blink Smart Bone dial and open the Smart Bone action for blink. When we scrub the timeline, see how the two Wink Smart Bones are rotating in sync with the Blink Smart Bone? We're going to change that. Select the bones, wink down R, and wink down L. Then select the key in the red rotation channel at frame 1 and move it to frame 6. Remember, the red channel is for the selected items, and we only want to move the keys for these two bones and not the blink bone. Copy the key at frame 6 and paste it into frame 1. Now when we scrub the timeline, notice how the wink bones have a delay of 6 frames before they start turning. Let's do the same for the second blink action. Select the bones Wink Up R and Wink Up L, drag their frame 1 key to frame 6, then copy and paste frame 6 to frame 1. Check it, and like in the first action, we have a delay of 6 frames before the animation starts. Go to the main line and move the playhead to the test frame. So what did we just do? Well, notice how when I wiggle the blink bone a few degrees, the eyes no longer react. But when I turn it past 6 or 7 degrees, then the eyes start closing. This delay happens in the other direction as well. What we did was we created a 12-frame padding for the blink bone, so it's not necessary to return the dial perfectly to the center position to reach the neutral pose. This makes animating the eyes easier because now we don't have to be so careful with the blink control. Oh, I just thought of a fun bonus exercise. If you have the Mr. Smarty Bones activity file featured in our last tutorial, try applying this padding trick to the Blink Smart Bone dial in that rig. There's more we can do to improve this rig. For example, here's a variation with separate eyelid controls. This setup allows us to get more expressive with the eyes. In the future, I'll show you how to rig this setup and how to rig other animation styles like anime. Right now, I hear music, and you know what that means. I want to thank all our supporters who donated or purchased something from our Ko-fi page. Remember, when you contribute to our Ko-fi page and become a supporter, you'll see your name in the credits of our next tutorial, get access to supporter-only posts for a month, and a link to download free stuff. Thanks for watching, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you soon.